Hello there.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special new experiment with Jedi Knights.
An experiment?
Yeah. If you're seeing this, you're seeing it the day we're recording it because Mandalorian is a Friday release. We record Mondays.
Yeah, Jedi Knights is actually a live production now.
Almost. It's like
live.
2 steps away from being live.
Yeah, it's basically live.
So, yeah.
It's like definitely not live.
All right.
No,
whatever.
it's like
live.
basically is.
Yeah.
It's live.
This is, for the week, this is episode 8. We're going to be discussing just Mandalorian Chapter 2, The Child.
Right, yeah, this one actually had a title.
It did. Jack Martin is supposed to join us.
Yeah, I don't know where he is.
I know we've joked a lot about him being dead, but, like, I hope he's okay.
I mean, he might actually be dead this time.
Well, okay. Well.
Hello there.
Jack?
The Force has willed me back into existence.
Well, howdy dee.
You're all blue now.
I know.
Welcome back.
Qui-Gon taught me this massive power.
That's exciting.
So
Wait,
I've come back from the nether realm.
so if you're like a ghost now, does that mean you died?
Yeah, I did die. Yes, you were correct.
The whole time.
Cannon added to the fire the cannon. I was in fact dead this whole time.
So for the sake of maybe the person who has to edit this
Right.
in 20 minutes, reincarnate yourself for
Okay.
us with your impressive
All right.
Force powers.
Okay.
All right,
Here we
look
go.
at that.
Wow.
Yeah.
A regular
back.
Sheev Palpatine right here.
Wow.
Seriously.
Yeah. Here we go.
How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me back. Back in the old stewed.
Yeah, it's exciting, right?
Yeah. It is.
This dude.
Yeah. This is the
Different posters on the wall.
I know. This
Same
is
color scheme.
It is. This is the first time, actually, the second time the three of us have been on a podcast
It is.
together.
Oh yeah, we did the.
We did the finale of the Polygonal Sunrise together in this very room.
Yeah, right.
So
And you can find that on Spotify and other podcast services, correct?
probably
Yeah.
haven't touched that old feed in a while.
Did like a whole 10 episodes on there, right?
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, welcome back. Happy to have you here.
Yeah, good to be back.
We're going to talk Star Wars this time
Oh,
instead
yeah.
of Marvel or Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, the new venture for Disney Star Wars, The Mandalorian. We've already talked about episode 1, which you can check on our same video as the Empire Strikes Back review. Quick recap, did you like episode 1?
Oh yeah. I don't think it's perfect by any means, but I think it's a really good tone setting
For sure.
for the show. And I really enjoyed it.
Me too. I really appreciate that it was quiet
Yes.
for the majority of it.
I was anticipating not a story sort of beat for the whole season. I was expecting more of like a Cowboy Bebop sort of tale, where it's more like just sort of anecdotes from this character.
Mm-hmm.
But I do appreciate how there's a through line with the little Yoda baby.
Yes.
And I think what's great about this show is that it's very separate from the Skywalker saga, but it has implications for the universe of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what Star Wars needs to go after post episode 9.
Yeah, I agree. And we've talked about it a lot on the show so far. Me and Mike are kind of pretty much on the same page of like stuff like this to flesh out the universe is better suited to be on Disney Plus,
Right.
serialized. Excited for Kenobi for the same reason.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you just have more opportunity, more time.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned the Yoda baby. That's what this episode is about. Episode 2, The Child.
It's Baby Yoda. It's
It
not
is Baby
It's
Yoda.
not the child.
It's Baby Yoda.
So canon that Yoda and Yaddle got their thing on, and
So yeah,
Got a
where do you
little
fall
baby?
on this?
Yeah.
so I was thinking before I did the math in my head, I thought that maybe this could be like a resurrection or a reincarnation of Yoda,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't make sense because this little creature was born sometime during the prequels or maybe even a little bit before the prequels.
Because 50 years old, right?
Right, it's
Mhm.
50. So I don't know. And for the audience you guys are mentioning, we've only seen 2. One is for sure canon, one is questionably canon, like it's in a scene in a movie, but
It's canon.
okay, it is canon, but it's like we haven't really heard anything about that character specifically.
Yaddle?
Yeah, Yaddle.
Okay.
So we don't really know anything about this race. So I think it's really fascinating.
Mm-hmm. There's not even a name.
No, we don't know the name of the species. I don't know if we ever will.
Yeah. Do you
I kind of hope we don't.
I kind of hope we don't either, because doesn't George Lucas even refer to it as Yoda's species?
I think so.
That's like the official term, yeah, is Yoda species.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just realizing now I forgot to introduce everybody.
Oh.
I'm Christian Buckley. That's Mike Connors.
Hey.
Pat Maroney's on the mixer.
Hello.
And
We're just getting right into
let's
it.
talk Mandalorian.
Yeah, who
I'm
cares?
excited.
Yeah, me too.
Hell yeah.
I guess grand scheme, taking a step back before we dive in too far. 32 minutes long.
Yeah, very short.
I don't like how short these episodes are. I thought that they were going to be longer, and like maybe that the pilot when it was like 40 minutes long, I was like,
Yeah.
I hope it's going to be a bit longer than that. But
I was expecting full hours. And I don't know if I'm necessarily upset because I saw somebody posit the idea that like if there was an extra 20 minutes, it would be kind of like a meandering subplot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think especially like the quietness that we talked about with the pilot, like having a subplot of like a secondary character, like him having some like minor inconvenience is just going to make it feel bloated, you know?
Yeah.
Is this all kill or no filler right now? Is that what we're
Some
trying to take
41s.
away?
yeah,
All killer, no filler. I think what I've noticed is that both these episodes are very tight. There's
Yeah.
not a lot of things in each episode that is unneeded.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like the writers have a lot of independence, especially with the budget and the platform that they're working with, where they're probably like, write a script, make it anywhere between 30 to 60 pages, and that's whatever the episode will be. And it seems like that's kind of what they're going for.
I was kind of thinking about the same thing today, actually, in the shower about how
Shower thought?
Well, yeah, a big time shower thought because I feel like over the years we've been conditioned that like these sort of TV shows, like they have like a very designated A and B plot, and they're
Mhm.
like 50-ish minutes long. But we never had like Star Wars media in this way.
Mm-hmm.
And since it's on its own streaming service, it's probably like Disney's way of just making it their own.
Yeah, and I think my biggest thing, I'm okay if they want to make them shorter if it's for the sake of it being tighter. But with the release schedule, it's making me question what their intent is, kind of, because seeing this, it seems like a very like apparent part 2, you know? So I know their whole thing was we want to do weekly releases, get back to that kind of hype cycle of television, even though they release it in the morning, which is a weird thing.
Do they? I don't even.
They release it at like I think midnight Eastern,
Oh.
but
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably might be asleep by then or doing homework. So
It's not like Watchmen with HBO, which comes
Yeah.
out at like 9 on Sundays.
because the initial intent was like when they said they wanted to bring it back to that like live tweeting event,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of loses that since it's not a set time that everybody's sitting down to watch it, you know?
That's a good point.
So I wonder if with me feeling like it's a part 2, do you think that this is going to be a show that's better off binged after the fact?
I was thinking that it seems specifically with these 2 episodes that they're very like necessary to watch them both kind of in one sitting.
Mm-hmm.
So after the fact, it might. I'm curious because I like the week by week sort of thing. Like I'm watching Watchmen, like I mentioned, and I do kind of like that every week is kind of an event.
Mm-hmm.
And specifically with Star Wars, I think that would have been pretty, important to do.
Yeah.
But I think so far it seems like it would have been better suited as a binge show all
Mhm.
at once.
See, I don't know. I like the whole binge format of shows.
Mhm.
It's kind of like it's less of a distraction almost. You kind of can just like watch it at your own pace.
It can be overwhelming sometimes. Like Stranger Things, I felt
can.
like I had to blitz that. You know?
Because spoilers come out.
Spoilers,
much
the
day.
conversation,
That's true, yeah.
memeing stuff, like it wasn't very long before Baby Yoda was on my timeline constantly after episode 1.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So
I mean, but the thing is though, is that I don't necessarily hate it in the context of Star Wars because otherwise, like, what would we have other than like Fallen Order to get us to like the Rise of Skywalker?
sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like this gives us something like every week to kind of just like.
Mhm.
Like I don't know, think about like a little pacifier in the mouth of
Yeah.
like the Star Wars community, but seriously, like it kind of is.
Yeah, definitely. And I think like overall, I'm glad it's weekly just because one, it fits this format of podcasting well, and two, like
True,
you said, it's
yeah.
kind of like satiates the hunger for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Diving in though. The Mandalorian, I don't think he gets fleshed out more in this episode. You get more of where we left off with him.
Mm-hmm.
A surprising amount of care for the child. And I guess before we get even like more specific, grand scheme, they're gonna want to like kill this kid, and he's gonna be like, nah, and then be on the run with it, right?
Yeah, I think that's pretty
Oh, okay.
That's where I see it going.
Yeah, me too. Because I don't think there's any reason that the guy from the Empire, if he is actually from the Empire, wants a child force sensitive thing for like good reasons, you know?
I was listening to, I don't know if you want to go into theories, but I heard a theory that the Empire wants it. This is like out there, but they connected it with some way in Camino, cloning this child, force sensitive child, to have
Interesting.
little clone Yodas out there.
Oh well, you know, people think that like Rey's a clone and stuff like
That's
that
true.
too,
Yeah.
and that like Emperor Palpatine, like I don't know, did all that kind of stuff with cloning. And
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I've also thought that if this is a reincarnated Yoda,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's the case because, again, we talked about that theory of him being dead by the time Last Jedi shows up.
Right.
That maybe they're looking to this creature as a way to bring Palpatine back because we don't really know how he's coming back yet. But yeah, as far as theories go, there's a lot riding on this series already.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like I don't know. I'm kind of part of the camp. The more that I watch the second episode, that this character is just like completely separate from everything else, and it's just a baby Yoda species.
I think
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Like
I think
as
you're
much as
right.
I love it to be Yaddle and Yoda's kid,
Yeah.
I personally don't think it is.
I like the mystery about the child.
Yeah.
So far, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Question for you guys. Is it a puppet? Is it CG?
I think it's a combination. I think at some points it's CG for sure. And then I think it's also puppet. Do you know?
I have no idea.
Because it looks really good.
It looks like a puppet to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think at most parts it is.
The campfire scene, I was like, this is a puppet.
Yeah.
But like whenever it's in the egg, or I guess the cradle, because there is an egg in this episode.
Oh, right.
Weird.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
That's probably CG, right? Like the puppet there.
I think so.
There were some moments of it like walking that I'm like, that's a puppet.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
definite times where I figured it was too like not jagged, but like you could tell there was some kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
person involved. Any highlights from the episode?
I'll just say this is literally the cutest thing in Star Wars ever.
Yeah,
And that is my highlight.
Beats the Ewoks.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I mean, I don't think the Ewoks are very cute, to be honest.
we'll get into it. I like the Ewoks, like in future episodes maybe.
Uh-huh.
I think they're cute, but man, this thing's adorable.
Do you think Disney knew what they were doing? Do you think before this episode or before this show came out, do you think they were like, we got another baby Groot on our hands. We're going to be able to put this thing in bobbleheads, build a bear.
I mean, they're always thinking about the merchandising, you know?
Sure, yeah, that's fair.
So, I mean, yeah, this is definitely something that's going to show up in like a stuffed animal form.
Oh, definitely. And I'm
For
probably
sure.
going to buy it.
With a little
Yeah.
fuzzy head.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's going to
Cool.
come with its own little cube or sphere, floating sphere.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'd say the answer to that question is on the table in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right. But yeah, it's adorable.
Oh,
and
for sure.
there's no way to hide it, you know. It's funny too. I was talking to my girlfriend about this. She has a similar opinion on it.
Mhm.
And she said every time he wasn't on screen, she was freaking out. Like, is he okay?
Yeah.
And I think this episode nails a lot of that tension, not only with the child, but like basically chasing the sand fortress or whatever it's called, the mobile
Yeah.
fortress.
Oh, the Jawas thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think where episode 1 was quiet for me, I think this one really does a good job with tension. What do you guys think?
I think so. But I think it's alleviating that somewhat in that we see that he is force sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
So I think over the progression of the series, he's going to become more able to protect himself than he is now. But yeah, definitely the audience and Mando, as I call him, and a lot of people do,
Mm-hmm.
is definitely looking out for his well-being.
Am I the only one here that was kind of like bored with the whole Jawa thing?
I thought it was like so the synopsis for the episode was like he has to deal with scavengers or something.
Yeah.
I would thought it was gonna be some like rough dudes, you know, like just trying to like Mad Max style like freaks.
Yeah. Yeah.
When Jawa showed up, I was like, really? Like this is what we're doing? Okay.
It just kind of seemed like
He's like flicking them like flies.
It kind of just seemed like a little inconsequential to me. Like he
Yeah.
like chases around the Jawas for like no reason.
It's like it's annoying, but I think it's supposed to be. Like I remember like when they got to the ship and like his ship is apart. I'm like, oh man, he has to go fix the ship now.
Yeah.
That's true.
Um,
Yeah.
But I love how he just like eviscerates some of these Jawas, like just straights like
Disintegrates.
yeah, they're gone.
Disintegrations, yeah.
They are gone.
Yeah. I always wonder
It's
what
so
the
cool.
disintegrations are like too. And
Yeah, now we
Yeah.
have several examples.
Yeah. No disintegration.
Yeah.
His rifle reminds me of the Gauss rifle from the Fallout games.
Not familiar.
Oh yeah, actually, well, that disintegrates you too. Right?
Yeah, you like load one individual cartridge and then you shoot an enemy and just gone.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what we were talking about earlier, as far as like episodes not having filler, I wouldn't call this a filler episode, but I see where you're coming from, where I feel like they could have boiled this down to a subplot of another episode that was an hour long.
Yeah, I do think this was a filler episode, and
Okay.
I was kind of, well, I was like, I just didn't know what to expect from the series. Like, I was
Yeah.
like, are we gonna get filler episodes like that? Like, is it all gonna just? And I think maybe we will, and that's just the way it is.
After episode 1, this is not what I was expecting for episode 2.
No,
I still liked it, but
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from.
no, this is not to say that I didn't like it because I did like it. I just it was a little slow to me. I think.
That rhino too, going off of the Baby Yoda puppet thing. If it was CG, it looked really good.
Is that the same creature as the one from Attack of the Clones?
That was my immediate thought, but I don't think that one was hairy.
Okay.
I don't think the one that in Attack of the Clones is Harry.
Okay.
Yeah.
It
The
looks
tech
very
wasn't there.
Looked very similar. Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
the one in Attack of the Clones, I'm pretty sure had like 3 horns.
Multiple horns.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Similar like in design, I suppose.
Yeah, because that's the first read I got when it
Yeah.
came out with the horn. I was like, "Hey, that's the thing from the arena." And it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, wait, no." And yeah, that egg. That
Yeah.
was weird.
Yeah,
Really
that was
silly.
super weird.
That-
Why was it Harry?
I don't know,
I
but
don't
it made me
know.
uncomfortable.
Yeah. Also, the yolk was like extra yellow. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, the Jawas did not eat that in like any form of organized fashion either. That bothered me.
No, yeah.
I was like, get a cup. You'll have so much more of it.
Yeah, true. That was just kind of like, were they even eating it? Was it like
No, they were eating
moisturizing?
it.
What were they doing with it?
Yeah, I have no idea.
We've never seen a Jawa's face,
No, we haven't.
right? Just the eyes.
You know what this made me think of though? The that bit from the Family Guy Star Wars thing where it's
Yeah.
the 2 Jawa trucks and they exchange the mustard.
Oh yeah.
Because it was like, hey, that's a
grape
yellow.
upon.
Yeah, it was a yellow substance.
Oh yeah, I could see it. That's funny.
So
I don't remember that, but okay.
yeah.
Are we gonna get a Family Guy Mandalorian series? Probably not.
No.
If they didn't do the prequels, they're not doing this.
Oh,
Oh
man.
my god, what if they did the prequels, man?
That'd be the best. There's too much content though
There
to go
is.
after.
Yeah.
I
They're
think,
I think the internet handled prequel memes more than Family Guy ever could.
yeah. Check out Red Letter Media for some very
Yeah.
hilarious reviews.
Any closing thoughts on the episode? Expectations for episode 3? How we feeling?
I actually kind of like this episode more than the first one.
Interesting.
I kind of like how slow it is. Reminds me of New Hope.
Okay.
That movie is very slow compared to the rest of Star Wars, I think,
Mhm.
but kind of purposely. So, also shout out to Nick Nolte's character. Cool.
Oh, is he the?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's the
The Ugnaught?
Ugnaught?
Yeah, he's the Ugnaught.
I have spoken.
Yeah, I've
love
spoken.
that guy.
I want him to show up more.
I know.
think
I was
he
bummed
will.
when he didn't get on the ship with him. I was
He-
like, I get what you're doing, man. Like,
Yeah.
live your life, but
He's gonna come back
I
somehow.
hope so.
I think he will.
Looks like IG-11's coming back though. You were right about that.
Wait, how does?
I saw a trailer for like episode 3 or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was in a scene with Gina Carano's character.
There's too much. Marketing with IG-11 for him to die in the
Yeah.
first
Yeah,
episode.
I think so. I think his
And-
conscience can probably be transferred between.
Is he gonna be IG-12?
That would be awesome.
That'd be cool.
And
Yeah.
by the end of the series, he's like IG like 100. Like, guys, you gotta stop killing
He
me.
just sucks.
But he skips from 87 to 89.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah. Right. We already got one of those.
Okay. Mike, what about you? Expectations for 3?
I feel like it's probably gonna pick up a little bit.
Okay.
He's got to go back to Werner Herzog's character.
Yeah, like when did we get that? Because there's only 8 episodes. When did we get that moment of him? If this is where we're going, like being like, nah, dude, you're not taking this kid.
Well, I assume he's probably heading back to reclaim his bounty.
Right.
Mhm.
And then we'll see what happens when he tries to do that.
Yeah. So
Can I make a prediction?
what's up?
I think he's gonna next episode. He's gonna try to like initiate Force baby powers, and Yoda's just not gonna have it. Or Baby Yoda's just not gonna have it.
Oh, like X-Men.
Yeah, he's gonna be
Yeah.
like I'm in a pickle, and then the baby's just gonna be like giggling.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. That'd be interesting. Trying to like manipulate him, or not manipulate him, but like being like, "Hey,
Yeah.
help me with my bounties."
Is there any word on if this has gotten picked up for another season, or are they?
Yeah.
They're
only...
shooting it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is continuing
Yes.
series. Okay. Cool.
So
That's crazy that they were so confident that they're like, we're just gonna start shooting the next one before the first one.
Well,
even
The
comes
Witcher
out.
on Netflix, I think, is already.
they're
doing
also picked up for second. Yeah,
second season. That hasn't even come out yet.
All
yeah.
right.
Excited for that.
Yeah.
I'm
that's
also
good.
fairly confident in the editor's room. They're probably like, all right, this is something. This is sick.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think overall, like where episode 1, or chapter 1, I guess, it was like a really great way, Star Warsy way to introduce a world. Episode 2, I think what you're saying about A New Hope is accurate as far as like, this is how it exists, and this is what the day to day is like.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that about it. But do we want to give it a stamp down review score like we did last week?
Yeah. Should I go first?
Sure.
Okay, I'll give it a 8.2 hairy eggs out of 10.
Jack.
I would give both episodes like an 8.5. I think they're like in terms like they're similar quality. I
Mhm.
think I prefer this one
Okay.
over the first one more, but I mean I think they're equally quite good.
Cool. I think I'm gonna land at an 8.5 also because I really loved the way we kicked off with episode 1. Episode 2, did not expect, but I still enjoyed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Pat, what about you?
4.8 Jawas out of 5 Jawas.
Very
Wow,
good, thank
a lot
you.
of Jawas.
That's a good score.
So that is our recap of Chapter 2 of Mandalorian. Again, trying this new format out, so let us know if you prefer to get the episodes a week after they come out, or the reviews a week after the episode comes out, or immediately following that weekend. This is going up on the podcast feeds as well as the YouTube channel, youtube.com/joyclicks, or Jedi Nights on your favorite podcast service. So, anything you guys want to plug?
You both looked
Twitters?
at me at the same time. You can follow me on Twitter at FascinatedJack.
Very nice.
No, I haven't tweeted in a while. Maybe I'll get back to it.
Get back to it, Jack. I'll start getting back to tweeting with you, and you can follow me at Mike P. Connors.
Can we start a meme group chat on Twitter?
Oh,
Sure.
definitely.
Yeah, sure.
We never had that on Excelsior, did we?
Yeah,
we had a
need to
normal
get that
group
going.
chat, but not a meme group
Okay.
chat.
Yeah.
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 Designated.
Twitter at the P-Moron.
Very nice. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Chris N. Buckley. And if you enjoy the show, if you want to give it extra gas for the coming months, patreon.com/joyclicks is where you can look for ad space, early access to episodes we record, and nice little bits of information for a variety of different tiers of support. So,
If you pledge $100, I
Okay,
will
yes.
no longer be dead.
Holy.
So you can resurrect, please,
Jack
For only
just stole
$100.
for only $100.
Jack just stole my bit. That was well executed,
Yeah.
Well,
man.
so you're doing someone's homework for some sort of price,
And like shaving my head and all this stuff.
and you're coming in without any pants on.
Yeah, which is kind of dumb, I realized.
Because you
he
can't see
even
under the
see,
table.
he
Under
can't
the
even
table.
see my
Yeah, but
pants
it's
anyways.
for you.
It's for me.
It's a win-win for us.
It's a win for all of you and me.
Very nice. Well, that's going to do it for this Mandalorian recap. Later this week, look out for our review of Jedi Fallen Order with this guy right here, and Mike, and myself, and Pat. So until next time, should we have a different outro for Mandalorian?
I don't know.
We should say whatever the Jawas say whenever they get the egg.
Utini.
Utini.
General Kenobi.